Today we're going to answer the question, it went up how much in 4 months? Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about cryptocurrency trading and artificial intelligence for several months. And we have now been seeing in August the results of being patient and seeing how real trading in the real world with real expertise using a new technology actually works really well. And so today we're going to be looking at the D.AI.SY Super AI and how your crowdfunding contribution can multiply your wealth with AI trading. Now, Warren Buffett has always told us that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. That's not an appealing idea to most of us. So we're on a search for finding ways to make money while we sleep. And we believe that if you pay attention till the end, you will have found a solution to do just that. Make money while you sleep, and not just a little money. Well, you get the connection. We've been talking about D.AI.SY, a decentralized artificial intelligence system being applied to the decentralized finance area and the world of cryptocurrency trading. We've also been talking, I'll give you a little update a little bit later about the D.AI.SY token and the D.AI.SY Launchpad, something else that D.AI.SY has launched and now actually a separate project from D.AI.SY, even though many of us participated in its launch, so we'll talk about that. Before we do, we are going to be sharing some financial information and even some examples of financial results. We want you to be aware that participating in this crowdfunding campaign is a contribution towards AI algorithm development and testing by Endotech. We'll explain who that is. It goes through a decentralized autonomous organization. It uses smart contracts on the public blockchain. We will show you some past performance. That does not guarantee future results. It's for informational purposes only. Historical performances are also the result of compounding profits. So those rewards are contingent on the performance of the AI, and the results that we'll maybe use as illustrations are not a guarantee. We'll also perhaps use specific forward-looking statements. We believe, we assume, we expect, we forecast, we project, it may, might, could, etc. Those are known and subject to unknown and unknown risks, uncertainties, and others. And do bear in mind that we are not financial advisors. We're not giving you financial, legal, investment, or other advice. This is not an investment. This is a crowdfunding opportunity. So with that, you can read the rest of the disclaimer, take a screenshot if you'd like, but we'll move on to the presentation and really get into D.AI.SY. Now, what has D.AI.SY done? Because there are a lot of things that we've seen out there in the marketplace. We get blasted with different this and that and the other thing from time to time. What has D.AI.SY actually done in its first 120 days? Because it launched on basically March the 30th, April the 1st, if you want to think about it that way. So we've had April, May, June, and July to look at. Well, over 148,000 members joined D.AI.SY in its first 120 days. Took in contributions over $170 million. I'm going to say dollars, it's actually USDT Tether. That's a stable coin in the cryptocurrency world. Basically stable because it's the equivalent of $1. So if I say a dollar, I mean USDT. If you read USDT here and I say a dollar, just know I'm using them interchangeably, but technically it's USDT. All right, so we have placed also over $100 million in the live trading account. And we'll be talking some more about that, and also the equity side. We've had as high as 100% profits as of this week. That was last week, in fact. And now you're going to see we've had as high as 100% profits as of this week. We've had over 85 million USDT dollars in rewards that have been paid out, and a lot more this week. We've had the D.AI.SY token and the DCO platform announced. We've had over 175 million tokens, the D.AI.SY tokens, that were bought in the July pre-sale. We had over $20 million paid out in rewards from the token sale, and more this week. We've had some powerful strategic partnerships, the partnership with Endotech, the partnership with the DCOs coming into the token sale. Won't get into that too much. The partnership with the developers of the token and all kinds of other partners, exchanges and so forth around the world. So an extraordinary level of accomplishment in just a short period of time. Let's look at a quick video of DAISY so that we all get a common understanding of what we're talking about here.
What if you could have the advantage of owning stock equity in the most disruptive financial technology companies before they go public, and at the same time earn ongoing profit-sharing rewards and income simply by becoming a part of a record-breaking crowdfunding platform? Profits, equity, and income. Welcome to DAISY. DAISY, which stands for Decentralized AI System, is a smart contract crowdfunding model that is truly breaking industry records. And with over 100,000 contributors and over 120 million in contributions in its first 30 days, DAISY is positioned to be the fastest billion-dollar project of its kind. For as little as a 100 USDT contribution, DAISY members have instant access to profits, equity, and income. And it is all done with 100% transparency on the blockchain. The first technology company that the DAISY community is crowdfunding is Endotech, a brilliant financial technology team that has developed the AI backbone for many of the top financial institutions around the world, and is now developing the next generation of AI trading technology for today's financial markets, including digital currency. During DAISY's Phase 1 crowdfunding window, every member who contributes $100 or more will receive stock equity in Endotech prior to the company going public. And it doesn't stop with equity. Every member also receives 70% of the profit rewards generated from the ongoing performance of Endotech's AI trading system. DAISY's first crowdfunding phase has a limited placement of 500 million USDT into live trading for the purpose of testing and development, and has already exceeded 60 million in just the first 30 days of being live. And because DAISY is a 100% peer-to-peer model, over 50 million USDT has been rewarded directly to the DAISY members by the smart contract. DAISY has been recognized as the most powerful community and crowdfunding model ever created, where every member can have profits, equity, and income, even if you never refer a single person. If you love the idea of benefiting from emerging financial technology companies, if you want to take advantage of the digital currency revolution, regardless of if the markets are up or down, and if you're open to diversifying your profits, equity, and income, we hope that you will accept our invitation to learn more and watch the next video. It could very well be the smartest 10-minute decision you have ever made.
And of course, we've updated you since then with some of the other results that they've had. But DAISY is an equity crowdfunding model for the financial technology sector, as you heard. It is not a company, and that's a powerful thing. If you've been involved in cryptocurrency and in peer-to-peer marketing of various cryptocurrency trading options and so forth over the number of years, there have been some really good projects and mostly really bad ones. And the mostly really bad has been because of management or owner decisions that have made changes. And so what we've seen is the use of smart contracts, a sophisticated new way to take it out of the hands of people who would make or change their minds, or perhaps even have the ability to scam you, and put it into a smart contract where it's actually written and taken out of the hands of people, written on the blockchain in a contract form, and it runs because it's written. And so it's a model where everybody can win with profits, equity, and income. We're currently crowdfunding Endotech for the DAISY AI project. We also just finished crowdfunding the DAISY token, and that's going public in about 1 week from now, in fact. But our contributors in the DAISY AI project, where we're going to focus mostly today, receive exclusive equity and staking rewards, as you heard. So let's look at the roadmap of Endotech. Endotech is the company that we are crowdfunding, and Endotech is owned by Dr. Anna Becker. We can become part owners together with Dr. Anna Becker in Endotech. That's the equity side here as Endotech plans to go public. So let's talk about the roadmap for Endotech going public. Dr. Anna Becker is a sophisticated participant in the artificial intelligence world. She's been doing artificial intelligence in trading a lot in the commodities and in the Forex sector. She had a previous company that was focused on that. She sold that in 2011. And when she sold it, she had a non-compete clause. So she registered Endotech in 2012 and then went off and did consulting for about 5 years. When that non-compete clause expired, she started working in a new area because a new area of trading had emerged, cryptocurrency trading. So she began to use her artificial intelligence expertise, one of the world's foremost leaders in artificial intelligence, and began to apply it to cryptocurrency trading. And then they began to deploy that with institutional investors in 2018. So we now have about a 3.5-year track record since they began to deploy this artificial intelligence cryptocurrency trading. But she had a yearning to improve the existing artificial intelligence in a dramatic way. So she got her company valued. Endotech was valued at $100 million in November 2020. And then the D.AI.SY project was launched in January 2021. Now, what we're about in 2021 is what we already heard in the video: crowdfunding 10 million into the D.AI.SY AI project, our phase 1 development of D.AI.SY AI, and gathering and deploying and trading and testing $500 million of assets under management in the D.AI.SY trading fund. So that's the powerful process that we are now in. Along the way, this year, in May, we were pleasantly surprised that D.AI.SY also found an opportunity to launch something called the D.AI.SY token and Launchpad, the D.AI.SY IDO DeFi Launchpad. We'll come back to that in just a minute. But just sticking with D.AI.SY and Endotech, Endotech has experience in other areas. And so they've already told us that they're working and will launch during this year AI trading in Forex, where Dr. Anna actually has her greatest expertise, adding a further $1 billion in assets under management. And then next year in 2022, basically completing the D.AI.SY AI project. So we had some exciting updates from her just last week, but Endotech will be going public, and that's when you're sharing the equity pool of D.AI.SY will be converted into shares when Endotech goes public, and I'll share with you how that is. But that's the roadmap, and we're actually a little ahead of schedule. So it is very exciting, and when you see the results, you'll understand why we're ahead of schedule. Now, it's a crowdfunding opportunity. People make contributions, and that is made available to us in 10 different levels, or 10 different tiers, as we call them. So there's 10 crowdfunding tiers to choose from. They start at $100, and then they double from 100 to 200, from 200 to 400, from 400 to 800. I'll show you the details of that in just a second. But for each and every one of them, regardless of whether it's $100 all the way up to $102,300, and all variations in between, everybody gets a share, depending on the level of their contribution, of a pool of 5% Endotech stock. So Dr. Anna Becker has given the D.AI.SY project 2 pools, actually, of 5% Endotech stock. One is for everybody with their contribution, and the other is for people that achieve certain levels of building the crowdfunding community to a certain amount. So there's a separate reward, which we call the pace setters, and we'll share with you how you could also get an additional stock share in the pace setter community. But sticking just with what everybody can do, every contributor gets their share of 5% of the equity stock holding, and then 50 to 70% of every contribution, normally 50%, 70% for the higher levels of contribution. Those are used in live trading. And the live trading is to help Dr. Anna develop and test their new super AI. And out of those rewards, out of that live trading, 70% is issued back to the contributor. And we'll see another 15% also, as it says here, is issued through the residual referral plan. Now, we've actually seen this past week a vivid illustration of that, because when people make withdrawals, because contributors can withdraw at any time, if they don't, there's something built into the system where every 6 months, Endotech gets rewarded for its work, and there's also a benefit paid out into the residual referral plan. So after we finish this presentation, we're going to do a short video that's been recorded, sharing with people how to be sure that they understand how this every 6 months. But that's a powerful way that rewards Endotech, rewards the people who have brought those contributions in, and provides an additional reward in the residual referral plan. Really wonderful to see that 6 months later, you can actually start to see steady residual income on the back end, and that's exciting. So all members are able to participate in the D.AI.SY referral plan. That's optional, but lucrative, because the referral plan pays out up to 46% of each contribution. Now, wanted to show you some results. So a couple of weeks ago, we took this screenshot, and you could see from January until the end of July, the funds had been doing really well. They had been achieving a 49.77%, and you can see it's real trading. It goes up and down. This is somebody that joined in the pre-launch. There was a 4-day pre-launch. Then they revised the web system and the smart contracts to make it more robust, and relaunched at the end of April. And you can see the results have been, up and down. This is real trading, and it reached still for us a high in early in May. And then, as many people know, we had a huge drop, 50% drop in the cryptocurrency market during the second half of May, June, and July, and the market was really sideways for a long time. Hard to make money in that. But I'll show you what Endotech does, because historically, Endotech has been able to develop and give positive trading months about 2/3 of the time, and then they have losing trading months, like you see here. This happens in the market. The losing trading months about 1/3 of the time, and yet delivers spectacular results. So about a 50% profit. This went up to a 60% really by the end of July, and that was really positive. But look what's happening now, because now into August, here's just a little small account. This is somebody who also started in January, but now with a little bit of an update, it's gone from 50% up to 117%. And so that's the results that Endotech has actually delivered to the people that joined from the beginning, about 117%. And you can see, even this is a tier 2 contribution, so would have been 100 plus 200, that's $300. Half of that went into trading back in January, and $150 in 6 months grew to $325. That's a 117% increase in 6 months. So you can see just how impressive those results are. And that's the case not just for people that joined from January, but in fact, it went up how much in 4 months? This is somebody, and again, you can see the timing. This is someone who joined when D.AI.SY had its formal launch at the beginning of April. So this is, let's see, 33,000. This would be a tier 9, someone who came in at tier 9, and some of their contribution is at 70%. I'll show you the chart and you'll recognize this number, 33,000. This would be half of a tier 9 contribution, basically, and it's double. So from April to earlier this week, they've now had a 100% increase, 100% in just 4 months. Now just think, now this is, remember, this continues to compound. So if you leave this in, if this doubles, this 66,000, now this compounds 100%. Imagine that, that's $130,000. And then if it doubles again in another 4 months, I'm just speculating, forward-looking statement, 130,000 doubles again is $260,000. Can you imagine 33,000 becoming 260,000 in a year? Well, there's no guarantee this will happen, again, because 2/3 of the month typically are positive, 1/3 negative. But what Endotech has been able to do, and we'll come back to that, is generally about 200% a year. Now, there's no guarantee of that, but historically, we can see that in 1 year, people tend to double. So it could be more because we don't know the levels that the super AI will develop and deliver. But that's that's a really outstanding result. And if this doubles from 66 to 130, look at in 1 year, let's imagine that 33,000 to 130, that's $100,000 increase in 1 year. And then you continue to compound. You can just imagine how that begins to look. Now, here's a tier 10 contribution at the same time period. So this shows actually trading from the beginning. This person wasn't in. So this amount you'll recognize as a tier 10 contribution, again from April. And you can see real trading up and down, up and down, up, down. And then how the AI has kicked in August. And you just can see very sudden, spectacular results. And so for all sizes of accounts, but again, look at that, that's 107% return. And these are real screenshots that we've collected over this past week. But let's look at the broad picture, because this is, I want you to see not just the trading results, but also what your equity could look like. Because the equity markets, they'll get a powerful 4-year set of results like that. And they might look like this, like this, like this. And this is what it's looked like from the beginning, from January 2018. And this is, Endotech, by the way, has about 40 different strategies. This is just one strategy, and it happens to be a very lucrative one. So don't get the wrong idea about this. But it's just an illustration. The institutional accounts that join D.AI.SY, they have to have a minimum of $1 million to trade, and you would pay an entry fee annually, $125,000, just to be able to trade with Endotech. That's what institutions do, and there are dozens and dozens of them that happily pay $125,000 a year to Endotech and put $1 million plus with Endotech to achieve these results. And look what they are. Someone who took a position in this alpha trading account, 2,239% over 3 years, 814% a year. Now, I just gave you an example of 200 or 300%, and it's mind-boggling. But this is more than double that. But here's what I want you to all to remember, and why, some people were panicking. The sky has fallen. A lot of people were saying D.AI.SY's dead. D.AI.SY, woe is me. I put in $100 and I haven't made $1 million in 4 months. And they didn't understand that even historically, it's real trading. Basically, you can see this ratio, 21 months of positive winning trade months, 13 months of losing trade months. And when they lose, they can lose, something like 15%. But you can see the peak to value and the average trading. Remember, this is compounded. So this is the powerful thing. Can you imagine how the price of equity, the price of Endotech's shares will look when they can present a picture like this? Let's say that they are able to show 200 or 300% a year. And by all indications, they're showing that they can do that. They've been showing it for 3.5 years. But a year from now, if they're able to show that to the market, how do you think your share price will look? So we often just focus here on the trading, but in fact, the equity side of this may be just as lucrative as the trading side. So that's what I wanted. One of the things I wanted to share you. But yeah, it went up how much in 4 months? Over 100%. So you can see Endotech is on a roll, and what's now happening is that many of our members who maybe only put in $300, they're seeing, wow, my account's gone up 117% or 110% or 107%. Depends, they all vary depending on what time you join, but everybody's now over 100% depending on when they join. And a lot of people are wishing they had put in a larger amount. And actually, many people are upgrading. But if you're not a DAISY member yet, it's not too late. This is just the beginning, really. We're just 4 months old, and so you can join as well, as little as $100. We'll get onto that, but in fact, let's go take a look at how this thing works. So you're making a smart contract contribution. You fund your account through your own personal Tron wallet. Tron is a cryptocurrency, actually very good. The leading cryptocurrency for smart contracts, in addition to Ethereum, but a far better choice. We'll maybe get back to explaining why, but Tron is about 8 times less expensive than Bitcoin and Ethereum for use in smart contracts, so that's why we're using it. You fund your Tron wallet with that USDT, those US dollars on the blockchain Tether, and you make your DAISY contribution. And we'll show you the amounts, but let's imagine $100, just because that's the entry level. Everybody does $100. Then you have the option of doing more. Now, basically, half of that is going to go into the DAISY crowd fund. That's your equity side. It also pays into the referral plan. So the DAISY crowd is your crowdfunding, your equity position. And I explained to you how the markets quite possibly could look at that if the track record of Endotech continues the way it's going in such outstanding fashion. So you also take a position in the peer-to-peer marketing system, even if you never market it yourself, and you can benefit from that as well. Your tier 1 contribution goes in, it's placed in a matrix, and the matrix pays out up to 46%, and those payouts go back to you when you get your payments. They go back to your Tron wallet, your personal Tron wallet. It's like your own bank account in cryptocurrency. Now, half of it also goes, in the case of $100, half of it goes also into the DAISY fund, the DAISY trading fund. And this is where our funds are used by Endotech to test and develop this super artificial intelligence. So boom, your money goes into the DAISY fund, and Endotech works on that, trades it, like we just finished showing you. Some months really good, some months not so amazing. May and June, a lot of people were wringing their hands. Oh, has the sky fallen? Well, the sky hadn't fallen. It was just a sideways market, and Endotech was waiting its time. And when the markets got to a position where it was able to trade well, you can see Endotech's spectacular results. So the 70% gets paid back through the Tron wallet. There's an additional 15% through the pay plan that also gets paid back to your Tron wallet if you've qualified for that. So that's really how the distribution of the funds goes. And as I stressed before, this is smart contract. So all of this is done automatically. No one decides, well, we're supposed to pay out money. Maybe we should do it at the end of the month, or maybe we'll wait a week. No, this is all instantaneous. So when you make your DAISY contribution, your part of it is allocated to the crowd fund, part to the DAISY fund. The referral monies are paid out. If you sponsored somebody, you will also get paid instantaneously. So all this happens with precision on the blockchain in your smart contract. Now, let's look at these tiers and actually how you can get involved. We have 10 crowdfunding tiers. They start at $100, and each one doubles. Each level is a tier. Each one doubles. It's 100, 200, 400, 800, 1600, 32, 64, 12, 8, 25, 6, and 51, 2. So a total, if you add these, and these are these are consecutive. So you can't do 2 before you do 1. You can't do 3 before you do 1 and 2. You can't do 10 before you've done 1 through 9. That means the total funding is 100. And then if you do 200, it's 100 plus 200 is 300. If you do tier 3, I showed you an example of tier 2. Tier 3 would be 100 plus 200 plus 400 is 700. I showed you a tier 9. Remember, we showed you that 33,000 in trading. Boom, that's where that figure comes from. Remember that tier 10 trading, 69,000. That's where that comes from. So let's show you how that works. Start with a simple example. You make a tier 1 contribution, $100. Half of it goes to the D.AI.SY trading fund that's being beta tested, and it's in there trading. Half of it goes to the D.AI.SY crowd. That's your equity. So that funds 1 share in the 5% equity pool. And there's also payments going into the referral plan out of these funds. We showed you a tier 2 contribution that had been up to about 50% by the end of July. Now it would be over 100%. But again, in the same case, $300 we saw, $150 had gone into the D.AI.SY trading fund. $150 also went to the D.AI.SY crowd, and they were getting 3 shares of the equity pool. Now, I showed you 2 more. There were 9 and 10, right? So this is somebody who's now contributed $50,000, 51,000. They did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9. You know, the last contribution they made is 25,000. So we saw 33,000 being traded, and that had doubled, 100% increase from April. Now 66,000 in there and growing. But they also had 17,000. So they have 500 shares in the D.AI.SY Endotech, the equity side, and with all the upside there. And then last but not least, a lot of people do tier 10 as well, $102,300. Not for everybody, but for those that have it, you put 69,000. Now you can imagine doubling that in 4 months. We saw that. And 33,000 in your equity side and also into the pay plan, over 1,000 shares in the equity pool. So what's different about this is the first 7 levels, 1 through 6,000, 100 through 6,000, half of those funds go to the D.AI.SY fund for trading, half goes into the D.AI.SY crowd. Pardon me. The last 3 at 12,000, 25, and 50,000, 70% goes into trading. So you can see the percentage is no longer 50-50. More goes into trading and a little bit less into equity, just because people at that level want to have more funds into the trading. So that's how that works. And you can choose whatever level you want. You can also upgrade at any time. And like I said, there's a lot of people that were kind of putting their toe in the water at 100, 200, 300, 400, and they're now upgrading to 5, 6, 7, 8, even 8, 9, 10, because they've seen, wow, 100% in 4 months, pretty impressive. No guarantee about that. Remember, the D.AI.SY project is not an investment into trading. It's created to crowdfund the D.AI.SY AI development. So that's what you are able to do. Now, that's passive income. Let's talk about the referral plan. Sorry, I needed something to drink. All right, so there are instant payments. I showed you the blockchain and the smart contract, how that works. There's upfront income. And as we saw this week, also very nice ongoing income. But the upfront income, if you refer somebody, you get a 5% bonus. We're not going to go into the details of that. We'll probably start giving more detailed presentations on this next week. You're also getting a position in the Force Matrix. We get matrix check matching. So if you sponsor somebody and they are referring other people and being successful, they get a check, you get a check. Well, there's also the pay setter. And I mentioned that there's an additional equity pool for these 2 groups, the pay setter gold and the pay setter leader. And these are outstanding income sources as well. Particularly the pay setter leader bonus is really off the charts. But there's also back end money, and this is what we're starting to see this week, although we had indications about it earlier. But there's an automatic, so every 6 months after someone joins, there's an automatic payment as well that comes in. And because we're now 6 months old from the beta start in January, many of us got checks this week. It was a very pleasant surprise. So this can pay down potentially to 10 levels. It's unilevel. And basically, anytime someone makes a withdrawal, or in the case of the 6 months, even if they haven't made a withdrawal, there'll be a deduction to give Endotech, some payment for all the work that they're doing, and to reward the people that brought that crowdfunding funds in. So the smart people are compounding over the long term. They're happy to have that 30% every 6 months taken out because they're going to compound with the rest of it and really build up their equity. They're imagining that doubling 100% every 4 months, even if it's doubling every, twice a year and once a year, it's not doubling. That's 200% a year. That's what Dr. Anna Becker told us is her, overall expectation, about 200% a year compounded. But these are excellent back end ways. If you're a Paysetter Gold, you got back end money as well. Paysetter leaders all got back end money whenever there's a withdrawal made from the trading profits, and every 6 months when it's done automatically now. And then the Paysetter equity bonus. So there's a second 5%, as I mentioned. So if you become a gold Paysetter, you get a share in the 5%, second 5% equity. So super, super lucrative. And again, this is just from the point that you start out to the point you get paid. If you're starting out today, you're going to have a Tron Link wallet, or a Clever wallet also works. You're going to have some, you're going to get some USDT. We talked about this is the dollars. It's on the Tron network. So this is the type of USDT called TRC20. That means it's on the Tron network. There's USDT ERC20. That's on the Ethereum network. So we use the Tron network version of Tether. If you don't have that, you can get it. You can actually just use the just swap function in Tron Link, or you can also use the Clever app. Most people are right now are using the Clever app, especially if they have an iPhone. There was a slight glitch in Tron Link for the iPhone, so we're using Clever. It's very easy to use either one or both of them. But basically, if you're a newcomer, maybe you have money on Binance or some other exchange, you move it over to Tron Link or to the Clever app, and you get some Tron. You need that to pay your fees. There's, like a bank or any exchange, there's always some little fees, $5, $10, $15, whatever it might be. But basically, you then get your USDT. This would be your 100 and your tier 1 contribution. You would buy your tier. Tier 1, half goes to the D.AI.SY crowd for your equity and the payment plan. Half goes to the D.AI.SY fund. And we saw, also up to like 9 and 10, you'd buy what you always have to buy one, and then you can decide what additional ones you want, how many 100% do you want on how much? That is your question in simple terms. But you then buy your tiers, and you can also do this at a later point. You can upgrade your tiers and buy additional ones. But if you have, if you're not on Binance or Clever, you got money elsewhere. If you got Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, you can send that over to your Tron Link wallet and do the same thing. Buy some Tron, or buy some Tron. Actually, ideally, you buy some Tron and send it over here, and then swap it into USDT. That's the best way to do that. And then buy your tiers. And again, your trading funds go back. You're paid in USDT. You're paid in Tether, back directly to your Tron Link or Clever wallet. And the same thing with the referral plan. All those referral payments paid in USDT, boom, back to your Tron Link wallet. So let's that's enough about D.AI.SY AI for right now. But how much did they make in 4 months? Yeah, over 100% now. It's so exciting, and it's really popping eyes open about D.AI.SY. That's been the real D.AI.SY over the course of time. So we've also launched since May the D.AI.SY crowdfunding platform. Just to give people a little bit of an update, the D.AI.SY Launchpad is the premier cross-chain launchpad and community, bringing disruptive projects the disruptive crowdfunding that they deserve. So what happens here is that DAISY is not just a coin that's launched. The DAISY token is not just a coin that's launched. It's actually a launch pad for other cryptocurrency projects. So those projects come to DAISY, they get help from DAISY in launching themselves. So now that we've launched the DAISY token, other projects coming. We've already got an indication of 2 of them. One is a phone and the other is a second one. We'll get details given about that over the coming weeks. But project after project after project comes to DAISY, and DAISY gets a way to leverage that. So let me give you a little video overview, just so you understand the DAISY token, and then we'll come back and give you the highlights. So pretty exciting stuff. This is what we've done. The DAISY community has become a whale. And so this is another picture to give you an idea. If you're a DAISY token holder, let's imagine you are Alice. All right, so we've got the DAISY token project. Many of us bought the DAISY token last month. We got them at discount prices. We got them at really cheap prices if you got it in the beginning, and still outstanding prices. It's going public on the market at $5 in 1 week, a little over 1 week. I think it's 8 days from now, but 9 days from now, actually, still. But why would Alice and ourselves and many of you get into the DAISY token? And again, this is something that we are a crowdfunding community. We are a whale in the cryptocurrency community. We're 150,000 strong of us and growing rapidly, driven by the Endotech model. And we'll do projects like this, but this one is a powerful one. And this is why Alice bought the DAISY token. So she understands that she can stake the DAISY token. Now, staking just means you commit to not selling it for a period of time. And you get rewards, what's called the yield from DAISY. And that yield comes in a lot of different forms. It can be USDT paid back to you. And I'm going to share with you the formula, because DAISY is a launchpad. So the launchpad is a multiplier. I'll say that again. The launchpad is a multiplier. So Alice understood by becoming a DAISY token holder and then a DAISY staker, she taps into the launchpad being a multiplier. Now let's see how this multiplier works. Decentralized crowdfunding opportunities, DCOs, that's what DAISY facilitates. So other projects, we have 2 examples already, but dozens of these projects will be coming to DAISY to get help with launching. So DAISY is like a service community. It helps other cryptocurrencies get launched. So those projects come. We have like well, I won't get into the examples of them, but what happens is when they come to DAISY, the first thing they do is they have their token. They get help from DAISY with the design and the business plan for their token launch. They get help with the technical side of things, all the blockchain issues. They get help with the legal, and they get help with the marketing. 4 main areas where DAISY supports these DCOs and helps them to get launched. And in exchange, the services, the fees, there's a couple different fees that are paid by those DCOs to DAISY. And here's where Alice, as a DAISY token stakeholder, understands that it's pretty lucrative. Because you are in on the ground floor, you're an insider. You're that person who heard about that cryptocurrency launch before anybody else did. How did you hear about it? Because when a DCO comes to DAISY, the DAISY will evaluate it, and everybody who is staking the DAISY token actually gets to vote. We are a community. We'll all get to vote yes or no. Do we accept this new project, this brand new decentralized blockchain privacy phone, for example, one of our 2 projects that we know about. And we vote yes. So when we vote yes, then DAISY takes it on, and that DCO sends free tokens, their free tokens, to DAISY as payment. Well, guess what? Alice gets some of those free tokens. They're distributed to everybody according to how many DAISY tokens they have that are being staked. She gets free tokens. So she gets DCO tokens up front, and then DAISY helps this project to get launched. And when they launch, guess what? The DCO has a pre-sale price. Now remember, in July, DAISY had a pre-sale. The prices were astronomically cheap. DAISY's going public in a week or so at $5, but some of us got to buy the DAISY token at 10 cents, at 25 cents, at 50 cents, and at $1 in the pre-sale. But the 10-cent price, all of us DAISY stakers, we're going to get that 10-cent price, that lowest possible DCO price. When this DCO goes public, it'll have its own community that'll market to, but we also get the chance to buy at those best prices, 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents, and $1 before it goes public at $5, or whatever the pricing is for this DCO, right? So you get free tokens automatically, and you get the option of participating at the best DCO pre-sale prices. Now, they go public, you get your tokens, and then Alice understands also that she knows how powerful it is to get to stake in DAISY, but now she understands she can also stake in all these DCOs, and there might be 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 of these. She can stake in all of these, her free positions, and optionally her super, super cheap insider trading pre-sale price tokens as well. Now she can keep these for the long term, or when they go public, she can sell the upside and rinse and repeat, take those profits and live off of that. But these can be 5, 10, 50, 100% increases. This is the insider world of the cryptocurrency Launchpad. And this is the power. This is why DAISY, the Launchpad, is a multiplier. So you just rinse and repeat this. We got 2 projects, and then 4 projects, and then 8 projects, and 10, 15, 20. How many of them will there be? You get your free tokens, your best sale prices, you stake, you sell the upside, you hold on to some of those, rinse and repeat, and you're building wealth. So what happens is, after this DCO launches, they already paid giving free tokens, but when they're finished and they're successfully launched, they have to pay a success fee back to DAISY. And what fee do they pay? Well, it's an agreed upon fee, but they have to pay it in DAISY tokens. What? Why would they do DAISY tokens? Well, the DCO has to go out and buy DAISY tokens in the public market at whatever the price is and pay them to DAISY. and Daisy will burn those tokens. What I mean by burn, they'll sell them off and give USDT back to the stakers. So Daisy's going to get Daisy tokens, and they might keep them, some of those Daisy tokens, or they'll burn them. But Alice can also be getting USDT as a success fee when this DCO goes public. So there's a lot of different ways. But here's Alice. She's getting Daisy yield. She's getting free DCO tokens. She's getting DCO yield. She's staking in both Daisy and in new DCOs. And so rinse and repeat. She's just building her wealth again and again and again as an insider because she's a staker in the Daisy DCO. So if you've missed out on the Daisy token, actually you can still buy them. You just have to wait another week and you can buy them on the public market. So you can still have a chance, or even if you've already bought some, I know a lot of people want to buy them when they get into the open market as well. So that's the Daisy crowdfunding. So congratulations to everybody who participated in the pre-sale, and we're going to have an exciting ride. But that's a project in Daisy. This is just another example. When you join the Daisy crowdfunding project, you're getting your shares in Endotech. We'll have project after project after project like this, and you can participate in all or any of them. So it was an amazing ride in July. 170 million tokens bought before the referral round. Some amazing token bonuses, special rewards for some of us who qualified for the spillover maker shares. Over 2,000 free tokens for the month of June. Over 4,000 free tokens for the month of July for people that qualified for that. So congratulations to many of you who did. Over 50,000 people participated in 6 days, and ultimately a far greater number participated. Over 500 million tokens were actually burned, like they weren't sold, so they were burned. That restricts the supply. That's great news for the people who have those tokens, because smaller supply means a greater demand. And the referral demand round finished at the end of July. The balance of those were also burned. So we're set now for the pre-sale, which launches around August 16th. I think it is August 16th. And here's the roadmap for that. So we're going live on Uniswap at $5. PancakeSwap is another exchange, $5 again, and some other exchanges that will be announced. We'll get some details on that next week before the launch, obviously. We've got still a public pre-sale where the price is $5. A2DAO and some of these other launch platforms that are still they're public sales, but they're a different type of launching. That's already started with some of these. So moving forward very, very strongly and positively. Now, just to recap the excitement, I told you about the spillover maker pool. Over 8,000 of those were earned during the month of June. People got 2,300 Daisy tokens per share. If you were one of them, I know my wife was, she was super excited. And in July, the same thing, smaller number of shares earned, and it was almost twice as big. This is huge, 4,000. Now, think about this. This is a free reward. Each of these tokens is going for sale in 8 days at $5. So if that's the nominal value, this was worth about $12,000. This is a bonus that was $12,000 per share. And the July bonus off the charts, this is over $20,000 worth of tokens given to you for simply referring 4 people. That's what you had to do to qualify. You referred 4 people in the month of July with a total purchase of $1,000, and you got a $20,000 reward. I mean, that's unbelievable. So this is how lucrative this was. You also could qualify for a bonus pool. We won't go into the details, but this is paid out this week, 135 USDT per share. The gold pay setter, we also got those. Actually, those were paid out about 2 days ago. The leadership pay setter also paid out huge number of tokens per share. So it's been really lucrative. That's enough about the Daisy token. If you want to know more, you can go to daisylp.com. That's the Launchpad site. We always have updates on daisycrowd.com with details about how to keep up to date and the latest progress and information about everything in the DAISY system. So you can also get those from our resource areas. We have a Facebook group, Global Cryptos. You can see the address there. Again, for everybody on our team, also a Telegram group, Global Cryptos. You can see the address on Telegram. There's also the DAISY official channel. Now, our team, we also have a free web recruiting system, also as a back office. So this is something that's been put together by our sponsors, Michael and Chris, and they've invested over $100,000 in this system. It gives you 4 different pages, 3 and another one called the opportunity page. This is available in multiple languages using the Google Translator, and this is a business presentation, good compliant, and it gives everything really well presented. So again, an extra bonus for being part of our team. Many teams, actually most teams, don't have this kind of system. We do, and it is free, by the way. So what's DAISY going to be doing? Well, now we have our eyes set to, and especially now that we have that 100% growth testimony, that was really something we were looking for. Boom, we now have that. We had it earlier, and then the market was sideways, but we've now got that. So we're ready to go from 150 to 500 DAISY members in the next 120 days, by the end of the year, explode this contributions upward. And of course, the story attracts more funds now. We've got a very powerful story, seeing those plus 100% returns in 4 months. We're going to be paying out massive amounts of money through the smart contracts, reaching record trading results from the DAISY AI, as we now see it kicking in a growth market. Endotech will be announcing its stock valuation and going public roadmap in the next months. We'll also be expanding the DCO platform, obviously with the launch in a few days. We're having a huge event in Dubai for pace setters in September, and tentatively in January, DAISY will have its first DAISY global event, possibly also in Dubai. So we're on a roll in DAISY. Another thing that happened, the amount for withdrawals was dropped from $50 to $20. Now that we have everything set in, we're also doing this 6-month automatic payout. I'll be doing a little bit more of a briefing on that when I finish this presentation. The token's going live on the 16th in the Paysetter event. Now we will be having another overall global call on August the 20th. This is the last one, August the 3rd. That was last week. We'll have another one on August the 20th. So a lot of exciting updates will be available then. It's always available at daisycrowd.com. You can find presentations and information in multiple languages, 10 different languages, by the way. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been DAISY's Super AI. This is how your DAISY crowdfunding contribution can multiply your wealth with AI trading. And like we said, it's gone up how much in 4 months? Well, you saw the results. You can do the math for yourself. And the question for you is, you want in? And you want in at what level? And how much do you want to be multiplying in this extraordinary crowdfunding opportunity? And how many of the additional projects do you want to participate in? How much do you want to multiply? And, get your comfort level, but make your decision and join us. We'd be happy to have you join DAISY. You get one of these approved Tron wallets. They're either Tron Link or Clever. I would recommend Clever for right now, especially if you're on an iPhone. While they sort out some of the technical issues, Tron Link is still working great on the Android system, but there's they made a change and didn't do something quite right for the iPhone. So, but Clever is an exceptional app. We've been using it for 6 months. Really enjoy it. You get your USDT equivalent of $100 for tier 1. You decide how many tiers you want to have multiplying for yourself. You want to multiply $100. You want to multiply $300. You want to multiply $700. You want to multiply $100,000. You decide. You get your referral link, your sign up link from your referrer. You paste that inside either Clever or Tron Link, and you get your Tron and your Tether ready, as I explained before, and you secure your tier 1 contribution. That gets you your spot in the matrix, and then you can decide, again, what tier you want to be, how many levels you want to be multiplying, and how many shares of equity do you want to have in Endotech. And together we're creating history. It has been super powerful, both the DAISY story, also the DAISY token story. Again, we're just really launching those together. 4 months and extraordinary results, record-breaking business, record-breaking returns. So it's an exceptional time. If you spot an opportunity and you're really excited about it, throw yourself into it with everything you've got. We hope we've given you some ideas as to why you should be excited about DAISY and how it can help you to make money while you sleep. So if you see that, if you're excited by that, then throw yourself into it with everything you've got. I want to thank you for joining this presentation today. Let us know if you do have any questions. Get your DAISY account open, get your questions answered, get back to whoever invited you to this presentation. But encourage you to take a decision quickly. Literally, to put your toes in the water is $100. That's nothing to most people, unless you're from one of the parts of the developing world. But even then, you can see the results, talk to your friends who, we have a lot of people in Asia and Africa, Latin America, different parts of the world, where they've been seeing the same results, whether it's $100 or $100,000, they all get the same percentage increases. So that's exciting. So we do want to thank you. We will stop the recording here. We are going to talk a little bit more about this ongoing residual income and the 30% withdrawal. But for the rest of you, you are welcome to stay on and watch that. If you're not staying on, I want to thank you for joining us here. If you're listening later, please give a thumbs up to this presentation. Do act on it, get back to whoever referred you to it. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the inside of DAISY and all the excitement that is here. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.